Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how I use deadlines to take out large arc quickly and effectively. I like to use a fairly light kit so I have more room to loot. For a Bombardier you only really need the deadline. For a Bastion it's much easier and safer if you bring a cloak and a showstopper. I did switch out the anvil for a patina to deal with the comets. The biggest mistake most people make is getting too close to the Bombardier. You need to get close enough to plant the deadline, but not so close that you get staggered. If it starts to do the leap or pulse attack, it's usually best to back off and reset. You can sneak up and place the mine on the back, but in my experience it's easier to draw aggro than immediately place the deadline on the nose of the Bombardier. Then you want to create enough distance that you don't take damage. On this one I took a bit of damage from the pulse, and a bit more from my deadline. I find it easier to start with a neutral Bombardier so that you have a gap while it's transitioning to aggro. If it's already focused on someone, you may not have that gap. In addition to the pulse attack and the deadline, you have to be careful of any missiles that may have launched before the mine goes off. This is what I would consider a perfect deadline. Grab aggro, land on the nose, get away without taking damage. Now we're going to talk about bastions. The process is a little different. The safest place to be is actually on top of them. I like to use a showstopper to stun, then jump on top and place the deadline. Cloaking on the dismount is the most important part. Without one, the Bastion will shoot you down fast. I made a mistake here by failing to take cover. My own deadline got me and I was left begging for a defib. No! No! Damn it, dude. Hey, anybody got a defib for me? The showstopper must hit on the nose of the Bastion. If it hits the legs, it will stumble, but will still be able to fire. When the Bastion's on a slope, you always want to approach from the high ground. If the Bastion is higher than you are, it's really hard to climb up. Once you're on top, place the deadline as soon as possible. Once the showstopper wears off, the Bastion will try to throw you off. After the deadline is planted, you either need distance or hard cover to keep from taking damage. Here's a good example. Stun it, mount it from the high ground, plant the mine, then get to cover. I harvest large arc for parts every week. You can make circuitry from the huge amount of arc alloy they drop, which is good for making medium shields and more deadlines. Bombardiers always drop heavy gun parts, Bastions always drop medium gun parts. These add up quickly. Both drop motion cores, which you can use to make wolf packs and hullcracker ammo. The purple cores can be recycled into advanced mechanical parts, which are needed to craft and repair most weapons. You can make regular mechanical parts with all the metal and rubber you'll get from recycling the miscellaneous parts they drop. Another perk of this method is the experience you gain. I typically get about 25 to 30,000 per run. Notice that most of this comes from looting, not from dealing the damage. The best part is even if you don't make it out alive, you still get the XP. It took me some time to get this method down, but with a little practice you'll be taking down the arc every time. If there are any other topics you'd like me to cover, let me know. Thanks, and I'll see you in the next one.